They know money management. Budgeting is the first step towards financial security. Money management is not a difficult task. However, it is an important step because you will not be able to save unless you learn to manage your money. As soon as your salary is credited, divide your spending into utilities, housing, transportation, insurance, food, and investments. You should save at least 20% of your monthly earnings. The more the merrier. Talk about money. Money is one of those topics that the average person does not discuss regularly. Although it is an important part of our lives and most of us want more of it, so why not start talking about money at work, with your spouse, or even with your children? Healthy money conversations make exchanging ideas with one another much easier, which can help us learn to make better decisions and, who knows, maybe even get you a raise at work. They avoid lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep is defined as increasing your standard of living to match your increased income. It's a common poor habit among those who suddenly make more money. The rich habit is to put aside your desire to spend money today and instead put it into savings as well as investments that increase in value and provide financial resources that can be used to maintain your living standard. When you spend money, it's gone. You are forced to sell your belongings when you hit a snag, such as a job loss. If the value of the items you purchased has depreciated, you will receive pennies in the USD. One of the older and wealthier experts explained his financial success rule: same house, same spouse, same car. These words contain a great deal of wisdom. They mean that no matter how much good fortune comes your way, you should not change your standard of living. Don't make your life bigger by buying things you don't really need. Live a simple life and cultivate the rich habit of delayed gratification, putting off what you want today to have something to fall back on later. Read a financial book. This habit may appear difficult at first, but it is not. For example, if you're not a big reader or a slow reader like me, you can listen to audiobooks on the way to and from work. The average person commutes for about 50 minutes per day. A good audiobook lasts between 3 to 5 hours. This means a person can listen to at least one audiobook per week while driving to work. This can help you improve your thinking and knowledge about money, budgeting, mindset, investing, and more. They avoid wanting to spend. According to Census Bureau data, an additional 30 million people earn more than they need but are still one paycheck away from poverty. These people engage in a practice known as want spending. Want spenders to spend more money on their desires than they earn? The want spenders give up on saving to buy what they want now: 60-inch TVs, nice vacations, expensive cars, larger homes, and jewelry. Spenders frequently gamble away a portion of their earnings, overspend at bars and restaurants, incur debt to maintain their living standards, bring about poverty, and are careless with their money. Advertisers and a consumerist society have brainwashed them into purchasing things they do not require. When want spenders cannot work due to old age, they spend the rest of their lives in poverty. They become reliant on family, friends, the government, or the kindness of strangers. Want spenders justify their want spending in a variety of ways, as if they will make more money, get better pay, get a second job, or get a raise in the future. They also believe they will receive a bonus, more clients and customers, and so on. They invest. Customers usually organize investment plans after accumulating an emergency fund, whether in stocks, bonds, or exchange-traded funds. However, experts recommend automating a monthly or bi-monthly transfer of funds from your checking account to an investment account. This way, you can avoid remembering to invest manually and instead learn to live on the available funds. Experts agree that you should save at least 20% of your monthly income as a general rule. This 20% is set aside for savings, an emergency fund, retirement, and investments. Of course, the amount you deduct from your paycheck to invest heavily depends on your income as well as investment goals, but living without that 20% is a good place to start for your savings and investments. Before you invest, determine how much risk you will take and when you will need the money. For example, if you are in your 20s or 30s and saving for retirement, you can generally accept a little more risk in exchange for higher yields because you will not need your money for various decades if you plan to retire in your early 60s. On the other hand, those in their 40s or 50s have a much shorter investment time frame for retirement. As a result, they are generally more hesitant to take risks to protect their money better. Get a money notebook. It's surprising how few people have a clear and visually simple way to understand their finances. It's nearly impossible to improve our financial situation if we don't even know what's happening. The better we understand our money, the easier it is to manage and improve it, and it doesn't have to be difficult. A money notebook is a good place to start. This notebook will only be used to keep track of your monthly budgets. It can be as simple as an income and expense tracker in which you write down how much money you made this month and how much you spent on living and non-living expenses. And simply by doing this simple exercise every month, which takes less than 20 minutes, you will begin to understand where your money goes and your financial behaviors. You can tweak and modify your budget to fit your financial goals once you understand your finances. Establish savings goals early in their lives. 94% of self-made millionaires who became wealthy through saving saved 20% or more of their net pay or net income. They did this early in their careers, long before they amassed their fortunes. Begin saving something with your first paycheck, 10%, 5%, or even just 1%. The idea is to set a savings goal and then stick to it. This establishes the saving habit. To become a self-made millionaire, your ultimate goal should be to save 20% or more of your net pay and prudently invest that money. Thanks to the power of compounding, your savings and investments will grow over time. They avoid debt. This may seem obvious, but avoiding debt is a good habit that can help your financial situation. Experts advise clients to reduce and eliminate all debt outside of their home mortgages. If you desire to build wealth, you cannot waste money on consumer credit such as credit cards and car loans. Because most credit cards charge exorbitant interest rates when you carry a balance, pay these balances off every month and on time to keep a good credit score. Charge only what you know you can pay back and avoid using store credit cards. Use credit cards. There are a few advantages to using credit cards. First and foremost, it allows you to organize your spending. For example, you could have one credit card that you only use to pay your monthly bills and another for your monthly spending budget. This can assist you in keeping different categories separate and easy to track. Number 2, having a few lines of credit and paying them off on time helps you build your credit score. As a result, you improve your credit score, giving you access to many benefits, such as lower interest rates when purchasing a home or a car. Obtain quick approval. If you're looking to rent an apartment, your credit score may be used to determine your reliability. And the third reward. Many credit cards, particularly in the US, offer numerous incentives such as cashback miles and points when you use credit cards to pay your monthly expenses rather than cash or a debit card. You spend the same amount of money as usual, but you earn rewards such as miles that can be redeemed for free travel or cashback that is essentially free money just for paying your regular monthly bills. Of course, it is critical not to overspend on credit cards. The interest rates on credit cards are extremely high. That is why paying all balances in full each month is critical. This way you get all the benefits without paying any interest.